That is not my favorite time.
Crazy as drunk.
Alright, I'm sorry if any of y'all don't read that fast.
Lol.
What are you lolling?
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean?
Oh,
Stanley
so
decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Crazy going crazy.
Oh, good. You noticed my sign. Yes, I have something very exciting to show you.
tick tock, tickety tock. Meow, 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 meow.
Wrong time again?
That was the right time. That's not the right time again.
You see,
Oh, you're talking
Stanley,
about the clock.
I've been
In-game.
reflecting
I
on
didn't
the
even
Stanley
look.
Parable
No.
and about how roundly
No, I
disappointing
didn't
this
look.
ultra deluxe
Oh, it's
version
gonna
has
drive me
turned out to be.
crazy.
The original Stanley Parable was a landmark, and any new
Oh my
content
God,
for it should
shut
live
up,
up to that
dude,
legacy.
shut
So
up.
forget this ultra deluxe nonsense. I say we take it
Lol, you
one
are
step
crazy.
even further. Which is
Crazy?
why
I was
I'm
crazy
very
once.
proud to
They
announce
locked
for
me in
the
a room.
first time
A
ever
rubber room.
the
A rubber room with a
Stanley
narrator.
Parable
Narrator
2.
makes me crazy. Crazy? I was crazy once. They locked me in a room. A room with a narrator. Narrators make me crazy. Crazy? I was crazy once. They locked me in a room. A rubber room. A rubber room with a narrator.
Yes, you see, isn't
Oh
this
my
far
God.
superior to a measly port with a few minor additions? Think of all the new
No, it's
territory
not.
we'll cover with a fully fledged sequel. An entirely new experience, built from the
Okay,
ground
we've
up.
seen all
Why,
this.
there are
This is
so many
all in
possibilities.
the
It could go
other
in
one.
so many different directions. This is what fans have truly been asking for. Now,
No,
to be
this
clear,
isn't.
I haven't quite nailed down what exactly the Stanley
You will
Parable
make
2 is
Gremlin
going
crazy.
to be, but let's take a look at some of the features I've been developing for it. I figure that if I can loosely organize a handful of interesting concepts, that surely the game will sort of naturally spring up around them. It'll all work itself out. Game development is much more of a fuzzy magic than anything scientific or logical, really. Here we are. Go on, try out some of the new features. Okay, I'll be honest, I haven't yet decided on this one. I think that in the new version, the office could use a bit of decoration, like balloons. But I'm undecided on Get Well Someday and Happy 12th Birthday. Which would you go with? You know, sometimes when you solicit another person's opinion, it makes you realize that you knew which one you actually really wanted all along. Happy 12th birthday,
Oh, that's
Stepney,
some bull fucking shit. So I chose the other one last time, and it chose the other thing that I chose. It just did the fucking opposite to me this time. Because I chose the Get Well Someday this time, and it chose the fucking Happy 12th Birthday one, okay? Okay? Last time I chose
Lol
this
times?
one, and it fucking... Oh, this fucking motherfucker. I'm gonna punch him.
Or
I'm gonna punch him straight in the gut.
Maybe I should have gone with... No, I've made my decision.
Shut up,
We're
dude.
moving on.
Shut up, dude. You're fucking... This dude makes me want to shove a dick in him. What is
Stanley,
this?
here's an idea that I'm truly fond of. It's never been done before in a
Oh yeah,
video
this
game.
is...
This
This
is
is
in
the...
fact a hole that you can fall down forever. That's right. Infinite falling. You can fall until the end of time, if you like. A stunning leap forward for video games as a medium.
Oh, they put a roof on it. Neat. Well, this is where we left off last time, so let's go back because we don't need to worry about that. What's up here? What the fuck is this?
Ah, collectibles. Now it's a real video game. In the Stanley Parable 2, you'll run around gathering up these miniature Stanley figurines. And what's truly innovative is that there will be no reward for collecting all of them. I don't want to stifle the intrinsic joy of watching a number go up. You simply collect all of them, and then you move the hell on with your unremarkable life.
There's 6 of them bitches?
What happened to our broke-hearted lol?
Oh.
God, it really is the worst when you collect everything
I
in
don't
a
remember.
video game and then they
He
give you a
texted us
big
on Instagram.
fancy reward for it. Absolutely tragic. Calling it the Stanley Parable 2 is just so much catchier than Ultra Deluxe, don't you think? Ultra Deluxe? What does it even mean? But the Stanley Parable 2, now that's an artistic statement. A common complaint of the Stanley Parable was that it was confusing and paradoxical, that it engendered a chaotic sense of reckless despair in those who played it. Well, I am happy to say that after much consideration, I've engineered a clever solution to this fundamental problem of the game.
220.694 of drain problem is BS.
Reassurance bucket. You see, Stanley, anytime you're holding the bucket, a sense of calm and ease will fill your mind and your heart. It's true. As long as you hold on to the bucket, the many disorienting contradictions of the Stanley parable will feel perfectly normal and perhaps even comforting. You may even come to long for the gentle embrace of jarring cognitive dissonance while the bucket is in your arms. And to be honest, it's a much more convenient solution for me than actually redesigning the game to be less uncomfortable. Can you imagine what a pain in the ass that would be? Yes, the bucket is the perfect solution. Come on, give it a try. Can you feel it? The glow of comfort, even in the face of crushing despair, must already be sweeping through your body. And in fact, can I say that I do believe the bucket lends you an air of charisma as well? I think that just holding it has made you the slightest bit more attractive as a person. The benefits of the bucket seem to go on, don't they? All this and more await you in the Stanley Parable 2.
Am I just stuck with a fucking bucket? Fuck that. Really? I don't want this fucking bucket.
Does anyone give out awards for most enjoyable bucket in a video game? That really should be an award if it isn't already.
Lol, the buck is making crazy going crazy.
Yeah. What?
Breaking Bad game.
Damn, the collectibles room is fucking huge. Oh, that's fucking stupid. Oh, that's cool. I missed this door.
An epilogue would be fun, wouldn't it, Stanley? Yes, yes, it will go at the end of the, well, we'll figure that out later.
What? I guess there's not anything left to do in here, to be honest. I went down there, did that, done that, did that. Well, I guess the only thing left to do is to exit. Let's see where we go next, because there's nothing else to do.
All right, have you seen everything you wanted to? Ready to move on now?
What is it? What the fuck is this? I don't know if I want to go in there. Are these gonna close behind me?
So, Stanley, what do you think?
I fucking called it.
Do you like all of the new features? Yes, I know it's not exactly clear yet how exactly these features will come together as one single coherent video game, but
I
can
really
feel
is.
it in my soul. It's
I don't
going
like
to
it.
work. There's
want it
definitely a
gone.
good
Get off
game
my
in there
story.
somewhere. Say, let's do an experiment. I'll arrange these new features together, and we'll see whether or not it coheres into a meaningful gameplay experience. Okay. Are you ready? Here it is. I give you the Stanley Parable 2. Well, I mean, there's potential here, right? It's sort of... Okay, never mind. Hold on. Let me do a different arrangement. Okay, yes, this is much better. I feel good about this. Here we go. Version 2. Who am I kidding, Stanley? This isn't a
There's a
coherent
fucking
video
theme
game
in
at
there.
all.
I
It's a
want it.
lot of gags.
There's several.
And I do very much enjoy creating gags, but they don't add up to anything. I wanted more than anything to create a sequel that would capture all the magic of the first game. I wanted fans to love it. No matter how good these gags are, they won't stand on their own. They would need the structure and the gameplay of the original. Wait, maybe that's it. I can take the original Stanley Parable and simply, well, insert a few of my new features into it. Tastefully, of course. With respect. With care for the vision and integrity of the original game. Would it possibly work? I suppose it could. But it would need a really, really tremendous title screen. A title screen that says with bold and uncompromising conviction, "This is the Stanley Parable 2. Let me see if I can whip something up. All right, perfect. Go ahead. Take a look.
Crazy want to bed.
No. Why is there a second game in this?
Yup.
No, I'm right. I'm still here. I bet I hit begin on this and he's gonna be like, oh, sorry, you don't have access to that because it's not in this game.
Gremlin crazy asleep.
No, I'm not.
Number 427's job was simple. He sat at his desk in room 427 and he pushed buttons on a keyboard. Orders came to him through a monitor on his desk, telling him what buttons to push, how long to push them, and
Can you guys not hear me?
This is what employee 427 did every day of every month of every
Yup.
year. And although others might have considered it soul-rending, Stanley relished every moment that
You
the
know what?
orders came in.
I'm going
Though
to
he had
throw
been made
both of you
exempt
off of a
for
cliff.
this job, and Stanley was happy. And then one day, something very peculiar happened. Something that would forever change Stanley. Something he would
Crazy
never
as a
quite forget.
toddler.
He had been at his desk for
How?
nearly an hour when he realized that not one single order had arrived on the monitor for him to follow. No one had showed up to give him instructions, call a meeting, or even say hi. Never in all
Sims.
his years at the company had this happened. This
Oh.
complete isolation.
I forgot you were.
Something was
you
very
put
clearly
me,
wrong.
Raven, a
Shocked,
couple others,
frozen
and Sims.
solid, Stanley found
You're
himself
weirdo.
unable to move for the longest time. But as he came to his wits and regained his senses, he got up from his desk and stepped out of his office.
Lol Gremlin is my brother.
Yes. Are y'all watching my stream? Is my stream even going still? Is it? Oh yeah, it is. Okay. Yeah. Well, anyway, I'm staring at a clock because why am I staring at the clock? I don't know. The time? Maybe.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a
1:41 and that
memo.
clock said 11 something. What is it? What does this clock say? This one says 12:20. Not even close. They could have fucking synced the fucking clocks. The other one was 11 like 25. This one's literally 12:20. I'm fucking annoyed by it now. Stupid ass balloons.
Lollies.
So what does this do?
Stanley picked up the bucket.
Crazy is hangry.
I'm not hangry. I just ate. Why do I have a bucket? I don't need this fucking bucket. I want this damn bucket. Why do I have a bucket?
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left.
Why? Why? I don't want this bucket. Oh fuck, I entered the right door that he said. God, nah. Well, fuck.
Still no one was here. Stanley needed the bucket's warmth and comfort now more than ever.
I don't need
Perhaps
this
his
bucket. I don't
boss's
want this
office
fucking
was where
bucket.
he'd find answers.
I want to throw this bucket. How to solve a... What? I'm not that fast of a reader for one, and two, what the fuck? But two, this thing makes no sense. What's on this board? I like how a lot of this stuff is just jumbo mumbo nonsense because the people that created this game cared nothing about actual like figuring this stuff out just because of why not to put in a video game. They're like, let's just write a bunch of random shit on a board randomly in a video game because why not? The only master plans Kira has is the plan of being weird. Bite me. So there's one employee with a name. Jim. Yep. You know, I don't care enough about this. I'm going to the next room.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley and the bucket walked upstairs to the boss's office.
This is not. Oh!
You found one of them. One of the miniature Stanley figurines. Remember, no reward for collecting all of these, only the intrinsic pleasure of a job well done. You can't buy that sort of happiness, Stanley. God knows I've tried. So, I implore you to savor each and every moment you come across one of these beautiful figurines.
I want to stab this narrator.
But Stanley just couldn't do it. He considered the possibility of
I
facing
had
his
to sing
boss,
Disney
admitting
songs.
he had left his post during work hours.
Why?
He might be fired for that. And in such a competitive economy, why had he taken that risk? All because he believed everyone had vanished? His boss would think he was crazy. And then something occurred to Stanley. Maybe, he thought to himself, maybe I am crazy. He looked down at the bucket in his arms. Am I crazy? He asked the bucket.
I was
The bucket
forced
returned
to
his
by
gaze,
school.
but said nothing at all. That's strange, Stanley thought. Usually the bucket is a source of guidance and wisdom for me in difficult times such as these. He held the bucket close, yet felt none of its familiar reassurance and comfort.
Sir,
and that's when Stanley
you know if you leave
realized,
your car running
this
in here,
isn't
you're gonna
my
die.
bucket. It's just a normal, everyday bucket.
Sir?
Someone else's bucket,
Sir?
perhaps. How
Are you
did
in
I end
there?
up with someone else's bucket? This is all terribly wrong. Surely no good would come from this. Who knows
They
what
put
sorts
me
of
in
bizarre
Kool-Aid.
hallucinations Stanley might experience without the psychologically grounding
Sir?
presence of his bucket.
If you leave your car running,
Now
you're
he
gonna
noticed
die
that
in
the
there.
rooms were repeating, which was, of course,
Sir?
very odd. And now
Oh,
he
and
felt
your
himself
door's open,
floating
so you're
off the
definitely
ground.
gonna die.
Oh, gracious.
Get out of the
Sing
get out of the
class.
car.
Without my
Why am-
bucket, I've gone truly mad. Where is it? I must find it. Far off in the distance now, he heard it, calling to him.
Stanley! Stanley, it's me, the bucket.
Dude,
Could it
this
truly
dude's
be?
weird.
He rushed forward from room to room, passing by one bucket after the next. None of them were his. None of them were his special bucket.
Come to me, Stanley. Find me.
Why?
He had to find the bucket. He had to return to his old friend. It was the only way to truly restore his sanity.
Why?
And then suddenly, he froze dead in his tracks. He knew where the voice of the bucket had been coming from. The real bucket was inside of him all along. It was incredibly painful. Stanley doubled over in agony and blacked out. This is the story of a woman named Mariella.
What the fuck?
Mariella woke up on a day like any other. She arose, got dressed, picked up her bucket of comfort and security, and walked to her place of work. But on this particular day, her walk was interrupted by the body of a man who had stumbled through town, talking and screaming to himself, and then collapsed dead on the sidewalk. Right away, she knew what the problem was. This man had no bucket. Of course he'd gone mad, ranting and raving about a narrator describing all of his actions and how everything is predetermined and free will is an illusion and it's all just a video game. It could all have been prevented if only he'd taken his bucket with him. Perhaps he didn't even realize he'd forgotten his bucket at home in the first place. How cruel the world can be, Mariella thought, and she hugged her own bucket even tighter. But of course, she had no time for this. There were a myriad of confusing problems she would soon have to confront at work, for which her bucket would provide absolute guidance and total clarity on everything. Heck yes, she thought to herself, my life kicks ass. And she backflipped all the way to work.
What? I'm sorry, but excuse me when I say this. What the fuck just happened? I feel like we need to be high.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Okay. Clock's wrong.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, this was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
Lol.
Yes, truly a room worth admiring. It had really been worth the detour after all, just to spend a few moments here in this immaculate, beautifully, but eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
Nope.
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago.
So we go this way. Now, this is an interesting thing because
Gremlin lol.
vent. But we go over here first and collect
Another miniature Stanley figurine. This, you know, there really must be a snappier name for these things. What about mini-stands? Stanley figs? What about Stanlerines? Yes, I think I like that. Another Stanlerine under your belt.
This dude's weird. I want to go down there. Because, like, there's a way down there. There's got to be a way down there. There's got to be a way down there without dying. Because I think if I jump off of this, I'd die.
Lol
I'm not
Scooby.
sure, but let's go through here.
Stanley had now gotten himself so far off the beaten path that it seemed the office had begun so far off the beaten path that it seemed the office had begun so far off the beaten path that it seemed the office had begun so far off the beaten path that it seemed the office had begun so far off the beaten path that it seemed the office had begun so far off the beaten path that it seemed the office had begun so far off the beaten path that it seemed the office had begun You didn't think I was actually just a recording, did you? What a silly and trite explanation that would be. All the back and forth between you and me, all the absurd adventures we've been through, and it all turns out I'm just a tape recording? It was all just in Stanley's head. I bet that's the kind of twist you think is revelatory. I bet each and every time you watch a movie where it turns out all to be in the main character's imagination, you must absolutely bolt off the couch in pure shock at the phenomenal and intricate storytelling. It must be so simple to be you. Life being an unending waterfall of surprises and delights. How much more exciting you must find the world than the rest of us do. Now I've become sad. Look what you've done to me. This is all your fault.
This dude is annoying.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. When Stanley came to a set
Yeah, I
of
have
two
no idea in
open
that
doors,
room.
this
I
was
wanna try
not the correct
something.
way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew
Crazy
it
taking to
perfectly well.
Scooby.
Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge
Who's
first,
Scooby?
just to admire it. Wow, yes, this room. But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
Oh, Scooby-Doo.
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago.
Huh. That's crazy, because you can literally jump off of the cargo lift onto that platform there. I want down there. I want to go down to that door B. It gives you that option somehow. I want to go down there and find out. There's got to be a way down. Like, obviously you can go right here. Go there. It lets you get over here. So what's over here? Fuck it.
But in his eagerness to prove that he is in control of the story and no one gets to tell him what to do, Stanley leapt from the platform and plunged to his death. Good job, Stanley. Everyone thinks you are very powerful.
I wonder if I keep doing that, if he'll just give up and give it to me.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. When Stanley came to a set of two open, this was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. The lounge was sublime, a work of art. But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left. Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago.
There's got to be a way down. Which, the only way for me, well...
But in his eagerness to prove that he is in control of the story and no one gets to tell him what to do, Stanley leapt from the platform and plunged to his death. Good job, Stanley. Everyone thinks you are very powerful.
I did not mean to do that.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, this was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. Standing now in this incredible room, Stanley for the first, but eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left. Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago.
Okay.
But in his eagerness to prove that he is in control of the story and no one gets to tell him what to do, Stanley leapt from the platform and plunged to his death. Good job, Stanley. Everyone thinks you are very powerful. All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, this was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. Stanley felt lightheaded, butterflies in his stomach, but eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left. Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago. But in his eagerness to prove that he is in control of the story and no one gets to tell him what to do, Stanley leapt from the platform and plunged to his death. Good job, Stanley. Everyone thinks you are very powerful. All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Because I'm not 100% sure how to do it yet, and I'll figure it out later. But we'll eventually figure it out.